gentlemen, Vampire YGO here again with another deck profile. As you can see, it is going to be an Infernoble Knight profile. Yeah, thank you guys again for all the views on the previous profiles and all the feedback. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe if you're interested. And if you dislike, please let me know why, at least in the comment section. I appreciate all the feedback. And again, thank you guys very much for your time. Let's get right into it here. As you can see, we have 2 Renaud. A lot of people play 3. Some of them argue very heavily against going anything other than 3, but for a while I was running 3 as well, and I just found that 2, it works perfectly fine with the amount of searchability that you have in this deck to get it versus whatever else you have in your hand if you don't see this card. There's plenty of ways to get the combo going. But yeah, Renaud, your an extender special summons itself from the hand if you have a fire warrior on the field, and then it becomes a tuner as well if special summoned by that specific effect. Obviously, and you can only special summon it once per turn by using that effect. And then when special summoned in general, you get to add a warrior monster from your grave or banished, or an equip spell from your grave or banished. And then yeah, just the tuner helps a lot, but usually this one's gonna get linked away depending on what you're doing. Usually to go into the Isolde, but 2, I think also as well, I think this is the dopest artwork for any of the Noble Knight cards in general. Renaud is definitely my favorite. Hard. We have 2 Oliver. I was actually running 3 for a long time, but I don't know. I switched it from the 1 Fireflint back to 2 and then 2 Oliver, at least in this specific profile. Oliver is another kind of extender as well, and way to, this deck can go through hand traps like crazy, or play through hand traps like crazy, I should say. A tuner, level 4, it's going to be a special summon. You can basically, one in general, when this card and the Ogre are equipped, they have the effects of this one. The monster that is equipped cannot be targeted, and the Ogre has the effect of the monster cannot be destroyed. And then basically, this also has the effect of you can send a fire warrior monster or an equip spell from your hand or face up on the field to the grave to special summon this card from your hand. And if this is the graveyard, you can equip it to a warrior monster that you control as well. And then yeah, 2-0, found it's awesome again. You can search whatever you don't need. You really just want to see a combo, a way to start to get into the Isolde pretty much. You got 2 Ogre. One of the only ones that's not a tuner, I guess, should say, out of the new Infernoble cards. Level 4 as well, though, 1500 attack, 2000 defense. And then this one has a very similar effect to the Oliver. Essentially how it has the effect of when it's equipped, like I was mentioning earlier, except the monster cannot be destroyed when this monster is equipped with it. And then it also has the side effect as well of when this card is normal or special summoned, it's your Foolish Burial, except you can send any warrior monster or equipped spell from, or Noble Arms equipped spell specifically from your deck to the graveyard. And 2, this card's a really good normal summon as well, or summon off the Fireflint Lady. You have 2 Fireflint, was running 1, changed this just the other day, really quick before the profile. Again, another extender. If you control a warrior monster, special summon this card, and then you can also send this card from the field to the graveyard to special summon a level 4 warrior monster from your hand. 2 just works really well, more consistent. Card also, if not, you want to change that around, is you can take out one of the Fireflint Ladies and throw in 3 Quantum Red Layers, but I like 2. The red layer is pretty much your special summon if you control no monsters. Also the level 5 for the Tatsunoko synchro summon as well, going either to the Omega or the Boral Savage. But 2 Quantum, not going to use the other effects of the red layer. The 1 Gearfried Immortal Phoenix. This card you can definitely also, 2 is a great number for this one. It's got a really good effect. I only have 1 right now. I think I would still run it at 1. I haven't seen the need, at least online yet. And I'm getting into doing the remote duels as well. 2 essentially use 2, but 1 works really well. It's got extremely easy to summon by banishing an equip spell from your field or graveyard to special summon it. and then when it attacks during the damage step, so before calculation or anything goes off, you get to take control of one monster your opponent controls. So you can take things like Dragoon and whatnot, equip it to it, it gains 500 attack. And then it also has the negate effect of having part of your, end board on first turn that your goal is to get this one out. You have the monster negate, which is quick effect. You can send one face-up equip card you control to the graveyard to negate the effect and destroy the card. But yeah, Gearfried, awesome. It's sick to see that they've made another new version of Gearfried. He was one of my favorite cards back in the day. 1, 2, obvious when it comes to an Infernoble profile. 3 of the Neo Space Connector. And then, of course, the Dolphin. Standard package. Some people also run 2 Dolphins. Not a bad idea. It's just another way to get the hand rip combo consistent. On average, this deck will rip anywhere from 2 to 3 cards, I would say is the more average number. With what you can do with Dolphin, Omega, and Smoke Grenade, if you get those 3, and then you have also ways of looping, obviously. The Gemba, obviously a 1, your tuner, your E-Soul special summon, or you can also get it with the Needle Fiber, but you're most likely going to want to get this one as the special summon off the E-Soul. Awesome card. It's sick that it's also happens to be a Fire Warrior. Can also be a normal summon as well, because you can get it back with some of your cards very easily. And then you have the Deskbot and the Colt Wing combo, which I actually showed in my Necros combo profile about maybe 2.5 months ago. This combo is insane. Just in general, the Deskbot Mecha Phantomy's Colt Wing profile works in actually a decent amount of decks. But yeah, your tuner, your special summon, you really want to get off the Needle Fiber, and then the part 2 of the repeated summon with the Synchros. And then we are running 3 Gamma. Gamma's awesome. It's kind of got that anti-hand trap ability as well. If they activate the monster effect like Ash or Effect Veiler, Droll Lock. This card can obviously negate that and destroy as well and get you the summon. If you get the Gear Gamma summon with the driver, you could pretty much make it an extremely insane board. You can get the Omega ASAP and then still get the Boral Savage with the Synchro summon by doing obviously two link 8s throughout, or sorry, level 8s throughout the turn. Yeah, but it's awesome. I'm also going to be doing a profile as well without hand traps, and more of like a going second-ish capability, and a little bit different monster setup as well with the Armageddon Knight, because you can see I'm not running the Armageddon Knight in this variant here. This is the one I felt is more consistent that I've been playing with lately. I've took out the Armageddon Knight and the Plague Spreader, but I will be doing that in the other profile. Oops, sorry. We'll skip straight to the extra. Then on to the spells. Pretty standard. 3 Heritage of the Chalice. The artwork is insane on this card as well. I really like the Infernoble artwork, and just a lot of the Infernoble artwork in general. If you guys want to see some really cool stories or the lore when it comes to the Noble Knights and the Infernoble Knights, go check out Rogue Theory on YouTube. He does a lot of lore for a lot of the cores, and he's just got a lot of really good content in general when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! Knowledge. But his lore videos are amazing, extremely detailed, and goes to extreme depth when it comes to all of the archetypes that he goes over. But yeah, Heritage is going to be your searcher, basically like a reinforcement for Noble Knights or a Noble Arms equip card. And then, man, that Prismatic is hard. And then the 1 reinforcement of the army. It's crazy. I actually have, I think about maybe like 6 first editions of this. I used to pull this card like it was my job back when this pack was originally coming out, and I still have a good amount of them, and they're all in really good condition. They're all around light play to, I would say, close to near mint. They're all first as well, which is awesome. I didn't know that until I started really going through my stuff. I'm like, why do I have a reinforcement in so many decks? Not have to ever replace it. 3 Durandal. Durandal is also a searcher as well. This one's awesome. The artwork is also really cool. I really like this Noble Arms weapon in general. But this one, what it does is you equip it, and then you get to search for a level 5 or lower Fire Warrior monster from your deck to your hand, and then destroy this card. And then as a second effect that doesn't really come up, when it's equipped to a monster and that monster is destroyed by battle, you can add a Fire Warrior monster or Infernoble Arms card from your graveyard to your hand. And then we have the one-ofs, Phoenix Blade, Time Thief. I've seen people saying that all the time on accident on some of the videos. Smoke Grenade of the Thief, and then the Living Fossil. The Divine Phoenix Blade, you can just, I mean, it's an obvious card. This one is not a once per turn. You can use it multiple times to banish your cards like the Gemba and the Red Layer are usually the ones you want to go first, or Gemba and Renaud. Gemba is your pretty much main one that you want to make sure you banish so you can use the DDR with it. But yes, you can get this back to the hand and then re-discard it with multiple effects that you have to get this back into the grave, or even equip it and then use it to banish. So essentially this with like the Gear Fade, things like that. And then you have obviously Time Thief to rip a card and get hand knowledge. And then the Living Fossil is basically a monster reborn for level 4 or lower. Pretty cool. It kind of looks like it would go with the Infernoble Knights with the artwork. Phoenix Blade, maybe something that the immortal Phoenix Gearfried would have, right? 3 DDR, some people argue and go with, say they want to do the 2 or the 1. I was kind of thinking that for a while. I was like 2 plus Living Fossil is fine, but you really want to get this one when it comes to the Power Tool Dragon, unless you draw this card in opening hand is also pretty good, but the Power Tool Dragon allows you to just guarantee that you get this card in your hand versus something else. And then you have the 1 Monster Reborn and the 1 Emergency Teleport. Obviously Monster Reborn to keep things rolling, get something back, and then the 1 Emergency Teleport for the extension for getting out a Gamma. It's just obviously an extra summon, and try to get as much as you can. And then we have 1, 2 Triple Tactics and a Called by the Grave. If I had a 3rd Triple Tactics, I would find something else probably in the deck to take out, or if not, take out the Called by the Grave and just leave it at the 3 Tactics. But I mean, again, cards speak for themselves, and then Called by the Grave just because you want to play through as many hand traps as possible. This deck is really good even without using the Called by the Grave. If you get it, it just makes things a little bit more guaranteed that you're going to get a good board going. But yeah, this is the profile when it comes to the main deck. And then last but not least, but we have the extra. We got 2 Assault. Some people will play 1, but I just see the 2. Sometimes you can go into it on a second turn and it will be the more main option that you would go to. Searches from the deck to the hand, which you're going to search is for the red layer, because you're not going to end up summoning or doing anything with it just by using it for the synchro summon with the Tatsunoko from hand. And then also has the capability of, again, sending your equipped spells from your deck to your grave to special summon in monster level 4 or lower with the amount that you send. So you'll do usually 2 to special summon the Gemba, which will be Smoke Grenade and a Durandal is usually what I recommend, depending on what you got going on. And then Sold is going to be what you turn into the Link Cross. Link Cross obviously to get your tokens and start the first part of the combo. And then you have the 1 Halka-Fibrax. Some people play it at 2. You definitely can for if you're in a more grindy game, but 1, I've never really had to go into a second one with what I've experienced. Yeah, I mean, again, just staples when it comes to pretty much almost any deck in this meta, especially combo. And then we have the Mecha Phantom Beast Rorodon. And then last for the links, we have the 1 access code talker. Access code on access code. But yeah, I mean, access code is just a killer, straight game ender. If they survive, if you go first and they survive your board when they go and they pretty much can't do anything, you can make him almost every time second turn and just put a finishing blow towards him. It's just like a guarantee or a backup for if things get messy and you go second, you can get him out and also change the game. And you have the 2 Infernoble synchros. I would definitely like to use more Infernoble cards in the deck, but you know how it kind of goes. It's about what's best, not what you want with it. The artwork is just ridiculously sick, I think, on all the new Infernoble cards. But you've got Captain Roland. He's a pretty trippy one. Basically, if he's synchro summoned, at the end of the turn, you activate an effect that you pitch an equipped spell, and then you add a warrior monster from your deck to your hand. And then during the main phase, if this card's in your graveyard, what you do during your opponent's turn, you equip him to target one warrior monster to the Charles to activate Charles's effect during your opponent's turn from the graveyard. Kind of like the Roland and the Ogier. And then you have the Charles effect. Charles, this one is the one that when it's equipped, it becomes equipped with an equipped monster on the field, or any monster becomes equipped during the damage, or even during the damage type, you can destroy one card on the field, which will destroy the smoke grenade of the thief. And then during the end phase, you can equip one equipped spell from your hand, and then or graveyard, and then also a warrior monster from your deck to this card, which you're usually going to do the Ogier or the other Roland, depending on which one that you already have the option to from the grave with him. And then and then he gets the boost of the extra 500 attack from them as well, as you can see on there. Not bad. And then, with the sometimes with the equip power, he goes up a little higher. The one Formula Synchron, and the one Martial Matter Marcher. And then for the lower ones again, or for the lower level ones, I would say the Tatsunoko. Formula Synchron, just because you can get the extra card. It's not off. This is pretty much one of the ones you'll summon the least, but you can get it off pretty easy. The Metal Marcher to get back to Genba, and then the Tatsunoko to synchro to either do the Omega or the, what do you want to call it? The Boar Savage, depending on what you're doing. And then we have the Herald of the Arclights, and then we have Powerful Tool Dragon. Not bad. I actually got this on eBay for $12. Like pretty much right after the hype hit, I saw it on eBay and I was like, there's no way this card's still on there. And the next day it was still on, like no one had purchased it or anything like that. It's like a mod play, but I snagged it just to snag it, and then obviously it went up a little crazier, but I'm really glad I ended up getting this one because I have the secret somewhere. I just don't know where it's at. It's in a lot of my stuff, or sorry, not the secret, the common. But yeah, Powerful Dragon will get you that DDR. Herald will obviously be a negate / floodgate. And then we do for the 2 level 8s for the last of the extra deck, the Omega, and then the 1 Boral Savage Dragon. I mean, again, cards that just speak for themselves. The Omega you'll get to if you want to go more rip their hand apart. And the Boral Savage is obviously going to be more for the negate board. And like I said, there's definitely instances where you can get both of these summoned in one turn. Usually we'll be him first and then end him, just to help, because you want as least amount of monsters on your board as possible while doing the summon. You don't want to pull the DDR too early, or some of the other cards like the Renaud, depending on your summoning lineup. Because if you have an extra monster on board, you can ruin the combo with the Colt Wing and the tokens. But yeah. This would be the deck profile that I've got for him. Like I said, I'm going to do another one. Let me know what you think. And yeah, please leave comments, like, subscribe. Let me know if you dislike, why. And again, thank you all for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. See you in the next profile.